All right, so let's get right into the papers. And so let me just say a big good morning and a big welcome to the one and only, brightening the set this morning with colors and beauty, brightness and light. The one and only Apioko. Hello.
Hello,
How
David. I'm well. See, when you start giving me all these accolades, I get worried.
Why?
That I owe you. I don't know whether I owe you money or I owe something. I get worried.
No, whether you owe me or not, the accolades they are well deserved. So that one there.
Good morning.
Yeah.
How are we doing? I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, this rose pink doesn't look
bad
on you.
I usually don't have the confidence to, rock this kind of.
Why not?
No, it's okay.
You don't have the confidence? Okay. I never thought I'd hear you say that.
Yeah, but Charlie, I've been collecting fans for the thing this morning, so I said
it's gorgeous.
To wear today.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
Yeah.
So we're here.
Yes.
To talk about what's in the news.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's get
should we go right into it? Okay, so I have the Daily Graphic here. And one of the big stories, this issue about the Airbus scandal. It had been running for a couple of years, and of course the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, has spoken. And so we have here on the front page of the Daily Graphic, Airbus scandal, OSP clears Mahama, who of course is the flag bearer of the NDC, and he's running for president this year. So that's on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. We also have AG appeals Akufo-Addo for the Jakpa acquittal, right? And then we have new gold refinery opens. Vice President demands responsible gold sourcing. And that conversation has also been making the rounds. A lot of people are talking about it, even on social media, because Galamsey is staring us in the face. We're talking about responsible gold sourcing. What measures are we putting in place to make sure that illegal small-scale mining is not doing the damage that it's doing to us? And also here, Suhum, can NDC sneak through supposed cracks in MPP? A question that's being asked there. And then one here as well, $155 million coastline restoration project launched.
Okay, fantastic.
So we look forward to seeing how that pans out.
And the Vice President also was, in this whole gold conversation, was also talking about pegging the city to our gold, to try and create some stability for our currency.
I mean, let's see how it goes. Two things are clear. We have problems with sustainably sourcing our gold. We know the problems that have come to us because we haven't managed our small-scale mining industry well. And you see, let's not forget, when you talk about gold and gold sourcing and Galamsey, the Galamsey as we know it, right? The small-scale mining. Small-scale mining has always existed. It's the illegal small-scale mining where people are not small-scale mining anymore. With the excavators and whatnot. When you go to the Deo Gratis studio, which is the oldest photo studio in Ghana, set up in 1922, you go there to Jamestown and you go and look at pictures, you actually see pictures of people sourcing gold in the headpans, doing that.
Which is the way it was supposed to do, and it was done for so many years.
Precisely. So we're not saying that in communities, people shouldn't benefit on a small scale from what the land has been blessed with. But what we're saying is we need to manage these things, becoming a canker. And as for the city, we know we have problems. So if new ideas and new suggestions are coming along as to how we can stabilize it and bring it back to its glory so that our pockets are not chasing after the dollar, then fair enough. We live to see how it goes.
The Ghanaian Times also starts with airbus scandal. Of course, you know that since 2011 to 2015, all of these things were happening. And then investigations had begun. There was a report from the US, and then eventually this government, the president, asked the OSP to investigate. Well, the OSP came out and said Mahama and others did no wrong. OSP finds no evidence to support allegation after a 4-year investigation. Well, that's 4-year investigation.
Yeah, but I mean, it had to be thorough. It had to be thorough. I mean, if you're bringing allegations against the former president of the nation, it needs to be a thorough investigation.
Absolutely.
There's too much at stake not to do it thoroughly.
Yeah. 12 killed, 30 injured in fire outbreaks nationwide between January and June this year. Wow.
What's the figure again?
12 killed and 30 injured in fire outbreaks. Yeah, we need to do better.
This fire situation.
Random.
I mean, we have regular appearances from the Ghana Fire Service here on Breakfast Daily, and there are so many things that they point out when they come. Even looking at the seasons that we have, so from the dry season, or the Harmattan as we call it, through to the rainy seasons, and you know what's the peculiar challenges that those seasons present, and then also the way people behave during seasons like Christmas. You say because revelers are out enjoying themselves, they forget to turn off their sockets, their ACs, whatever, leave them, and they come back and a fire has happened. So I think human behavior is also a problem, but also our maintenance culture, because one of the things that they've constantly hammered on is the fact that you go to houses or buildings that are 20 years old, 30 years old, and the wiring is as it was when it was built.
Initially built.
So we really need to be looking at these things. The fire outbreaks are a problem, and then of course we don't even need to get into access routes and how our fire service officers struggle to get to certain places because our road networks, people have built on them, people have set up kiosks, people are doing doing markets on roadways. So sometimes a path that has been outlined for the fire service to get to a certain community, it's been blocked and they can't. So I think we have challenges that really need to take this fire thing seriously. You know, we've got our road accidents, which are a canker, but we also have the fire issues that we're dealing with as a country.
Let me just wrap it up with these last two ones. A 21-year-old UMAT students crowned Miss Geek Ghana 2024, and Veep joins mourners to bid farewell to late IGP J.Y. Kofi. All right, so that's it for
Alrighty. And the Herald, we have Mahama punches Akufo-Addo after airbus bribery fiasco. And of course, Mahama was speaking after everything came out, and you know his office released a statement. We did carry that on ChannelOne as well as citynewsroom.com, just talking about what the president, you know, Mahama is a man of integrity. If he comes into power, he will fight corruption, you know, and there are all those. It's a political season, so we should expect a lot of that. Then we have here self-styled anti-terrorism consultant exposed, uses AI-generated images to fabricate military ties.
Whoa.
Can you imagine?
Whoa.
And I mean, this AI thing, it's a blessing, but it can be a curse. And we're seeing worldwide what people are doing with not just still images, but video images with voice, superimposing people's voices on people's faces and whatnot. So as the world progresses, and AI is not locked up in somebody's country. It's here.
It's here.
You know, there are apps that people are using here. We've got AI gurus in Ghana now.
We do.
And people are using AproTech in AI. During the City Business Festival, we saw a lot of that, what's happening in the space. So if we don't start paying attention to it and regulating it according to our unique purpose and our unique, you know, the space within which we operate and live, we will have issues like this. So somebody is fabricating military ties, AI-generated images.
Wow.
You know, so I don't know if this would fall under the cybersecurity unit.
I'm sure it does.
Yes, I mean,
I'm sure it does.
We need to pay attention to these things. And we're in a campaign season. So propaganda and AI on steroids. We really need to pay attention to it. So we have here as well, Napo pledges chiefs' involvement in mining decisions under Bawumia presidency. And of course, that's the running mate of Dr. Bawumia on the NPP ticket who's speaking there. FDA boss seizes Daily Graphics properties over 700,000 Ghana cedis in a defamation case. So things are happening in the country. Things are happening.
Okay. Well, we have the Daily Guide here. It says, again, the £5 million airbus scandal. Mahama is government official government official 1, and this is coming from the SP. Of course, it says that government official 1 was exonerated according to the special prosecutor. Nana Katsot for Adentan Dodowa Road. Okay, that's good news for those people living down that corridor. The OEB people, I'm right here, and OEB people there. This is fantastic news for them. I hope the road gets, the project actually begins ASAP. AG appeals Atoforsen Japa acquittal. This is in that ambulance case we've been talking about. Ghana gets gold refinery, and most successful SOEs must thrive on transparency and accountability. All right, so that's what we have for the Daily Guide.
All right, we have the BNFT here getting into some business, and the big story here is the Ghana Economic Forum 2024, which is organized by the Business and Financial Times, BNFT. The headline here is Unified Vision Paramount for Economic Transformation, and is being attributed to the panelists. And it's on page 3, but I just want to read one quote.
Sure.
A development plan should do a couple of things. First and foremost, locate where we are now, ask additional questions, and then cast a vision for the future. A former commissioner at the National Planning Development Commission, NDPC, Dr. Eben Ama, said. And I just wanted to read that because we've been talking a lot lately about how our development is going and the gaps that we're seeing and experiencing. When there are gaps in development planning, we feel it as a people, right? As a citizenry. And, you know, year after year, government after government, administration after administration, since the NDPC was commissioned, we've had development plans. Yeah. And then another administration comes and chucks it in the bin because it doesn't align. It's new king, new law. Yeah. We need to get to the point where we have succession planning for our country. We can't do this anymore because it hasn't taken us anywhere. Absolutely. We keep using Rwanda as an example. When you go to Rwanda, you go to the seats of Kigali. They have rooms that they've outlined prototype, like, so they've arranged prototypes there. They have writing on the wall, and they've broken down their, I think it's a 30-year development plan into 5-year morsels. Okay. And the prototypes, some of them, they've attached lighting to them. So when they've achieved one part of the plan, then they light it up. So when you go there, you can actually track as a visitor the progress of what has happened. Wow. You know, so development plans are important, yes, but we can't just be writing them for writing's sake. Yeah. We need to get to a point where, and it was done, you know, at a point under the former Mahama government, there was a 40-year development plan put together. Someone said we don't need 40-year development plan, you know, but whatever be the case, let's come together, you know, non-partisan, just for Ghana, develop a plan. Tell us, okay, we need 30 years, we need 40 years, we need 50 years. We're aligning it with sustainable development goals. We're aligning it with economic goals. You know, we've studied the data over the last 50 years, and we need to do X, Y, Z. And then whoever comes is tasked to make sure that they are leading on and picking up from where, you know, whoever has left off. Otherwise, we'll never get anywhere. This back and forth that we've been doing as a country, that's what we'll continue to experience. All
right, let me just give you one last one as we wrap up the newspaper review. The Catholic Standard, it says, don't exploit religion in elections. Bishop Jamefi is speaking here. Now, Most Reverend Matthew Jamefi has called on religious leaders not to allow people to exploit their different religions for their selfish interests. He said this at the 3rd Annual National Catholic and Muslim Leaders Dialogue Meeting held at the St. James Catholic Church Hall in Accra, on the theme promoting peace before, during, and after elections, the role of religious leaders. Bishop Jamefi noted that whenever religion is exploited, the religious tend to oppose what the faith teaches. Right from the beginning, people have exploited religion, and when they do that, we find that religions doing almost exactly opposite what their faith tells them to do. Yeah, it tells them to seek peace, but people exploit us, and we go against this peace, he said. You know, and all religions, at least everyone that I know about, talks about peace.
Absolutely.
And the importance of peace.
Absolutely.
Right? But he hit it right on the head, because it is the same religious groupings when, as in his words, are exploited, that tend to war instead of peace.
Very true. I mean,
and the majority of the wars around the world,
there's history of that.
Are over religious
over
issues.
centuries.
Yeah.
There's history of that. But I think that's something too, especially in the time that we're in. Yeah. It's a delicate season, a political year. Presidential elections, parliamentary elections are going to happen, in a couple of months. So peace, important conversation to have. I mean, it's what has brought Ghana this far. Yeah. So we can't discount it. The ability for a man, for a woman, for a young person to wake up in the morning and be incensed by something, but decide, no, peace must prevail. Yeah. That's an important thing to make sure that every citizen of Ghana continues to hold in their heart so that we can maintain the peace. People have said things, oh no, we should do this, there should be good, there should be this. But, if you haven't lived through a war or you don't know people personally who have lived with the remnants of war, then you can get up and say certain things. Yeah. As for peace,
you don't know what it's like.
As for peace, we must continue to preach it. We must.
But by the way, we're going to have a conversation shortly, on your most horrifying public transport experience. Now, I don't know if you have had any public transport experiences.
What's that supposed to?
No, I mean.
No, the way you pause, it's like you're making a point.
Sips tea. Yeah. You want to
but
share?
What are we classifying as public transport?
No, any form of transportation where
that's not yours.
That's not yours. Yeah. So whether it's trotro, whether it's a taxi, whether it's an Uber, or let me say a ride-hailing, vehicle. Any of those public transport, it doesn't belong to you. Somebody is offering a service, you jump into it, and it takes you from point A to point B. Some of the, I don't know.
I remember some years ago. This must have been what. It's the years when some of my own mentioned and some of my friends and I, we just we were doing something that we used to call trotro hopping.
Okay. Hey.
We just wanted to experience the city. And my sense of direction is really bad. Trotro, yes, comes with all its disadvantages, the long stops, the terrible driving, all that, the uncomfortable seating, the armpit smells. But beyond that, it's a great space to hear the pulse of the pulse of the country. So me, I like it. Now I remember this must have been somewhere in 2012 or so. Some friends of mine, the people who mentioned it, decided to do one of our trotro hops. Now we get on, and this trotro driver, he didn't tell the mate that he had suspected that the petrol was leaking from their tank. So I think the thing had got to a point where he realized I was leaking really badly and he needed to make, stops or find a stop to go and fill the tank. So this guy, where we were, this guy was roaming, looking for, and not only was he looking for a fill, he was looking for the best price. And passing stops, and people are saying they want to get down.
He's running out of fuel. He's running out of fuel, and he's rather looking for the best price.
2012. Look, I'll never forget this thing. And that's the day I said, look, this trotro thing, man, it's an insult to Ghanaians. No, but that's one. But even more recently, an Uber ride. And I had requested a comfort ride because I was going somewhere and the reason I wasn't even driving is I just wanted peace of mind to think. And I had a headache. So I really wanted to settle my mind before I got to where I was going. I requested comfort. It asks you, do you want the car to be cool? Yes. You prefer quiet? Yes. Then this guy, when he was quiet for the first 5 minutes, and after that, oh, I'm so happy to meet you today. I said, okay. Great. Then he starts a whole conversation, talking. And I wasn't responding because I wanted him to understand that, I said I want quiet. This guy talked for the whole 35-minute ride. And when you're in a position like that, I'm not talking, but at least you have to, so that you don't come across as being rude. Look, I said, no, this thing, I might as well have walked or just driven and dealt with the headache when I got there or something like that. But he talked about everything. talked about politics, talked about his wife, talked about his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, how are you telling me? No, I'm not up for this, and I'm not responding. So it's like he was using me as his sounding board.
Anyway.
Like, no, man. I don't need to hear all this.
Well, we're going to be having that conversation shortly, okay? So thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's been fantastic. Enjoy your day. The weather is looking very nice, so, I mean, I don't know what you're going to get up to, but hey, that's what we are.
No, I have work to do. We have some top 10 middle presentations to do today.